Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what are you saying, people, and welcome back to another live stream. Hope you're all doing well. Like always, guys, any pairs, anything you want to talk about, any trades you're taking or any trades you're looking to take, feel free to share or discuss, see what's happening, talk amongst us. If you do want to join my Telegram channel, I do share my posts there, setups, trades, and my watch list for the week and videos that I do as well. So feel free to go and check that out if you want to. Links in the description and also in the top of the chat. And also, if you do want to check out my broker, IC Markets, the broker I'm currently using, feel free to check them out. I do have an affiliate link to that. So if you want to use the link, feel free to go do so. But yeah, guys, welcome to the channel. Hope everyone is doing good. Hello, Josh. Market is very, very much in swing. I hope your swing trade went in your favor. Yeah, gold did actually hit my first TP. I went to break even, and then literally 20 minutes after I checked my phone, I was literally out the trade. So yeah, gold was a little bit hectic yesterday. Morning, Richard. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hey, Ross. Welcome. How are you doing? Great so far. News did me good, man. Yeah, I mean, dollar. I mean, did to be fair, it did a lot of people good, and then it could have done a lot of people bad as well, because dollar was strong and then it was weak. And then it was strong again for some pairs, and some other pairs were still quite weak. So yeah, it was a bit all over the place, but definitely a lot of momentum. So, you know, if you're on the right side of that, definitely a lot of pips could be banked there. But well done, Ross. Lovely to hear. Good morning, Tom. How are you doing? Pound CHF, no problem. We'll get onto that. Let's discuss pound yen with the incoming Bank of England and the weaker yen. Yeah, yen pairs have been doing absolute madness, especially CHF JPY. I don't know what happened with that one. That one completely collapsed on its arse, really. But yeah, we'll take a look at pound CHF. Then I'll move on to pound JPY. But yes, you're right. We do have the Bank of England coming out later. So that'll be interesting. I'll stay on the stream a little bit after my usual time just to see what happens with you guys. But yeah, again, with pound CHF, there's nothing really to do here. There's nothing really to do. We're in unknown territory. We haven't been here in very, very long time. So yeah, trading this is always just gonna be a little bit sketchy. And there's no real support and there's no real levels to be working with other than the psychological levels. So yeah, it's difficult to find good trades. I know there's a big candle down the 4H, you know, big candles down the alley. There might be some nice sells coming into this resistance here, because obviously the trend is still bearish. We're still overall looking to sell. Big wick to the upside, definitely liquidated a lot of stop losses above that area. So we might be able to see a brief move to the downside, maybe back to this support here around 1.096. But that's as far as I'll probably take the trade. We could just roll back down and kind of just delete that whole bullish candle there. But of course, with the news coming out later, who knows what could happen? We could see another big push to the upside, or we could melt straight back down. Depends what happens to a pound, obviously. But yeah, this one, it's a nice resistance. I do admit it came in very, very fast and big spikes, so stops are definitely taken. So they could see some nice downside, but I wouldn't be in that trade for too long and probably be out before the news, which happens in less than 2 hours from now. So yeah, CHF. I say short-term shorts look good, but yeah, we're kind of in unknown territory here, so it's not really a pair that I would gravitate to really. But yeah, we'll take a look at pound yen and go through a lot of the yen pairs, to be fair, because yeah, yen pairs have been doing a madness. Good morning, March. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Hope you're doing good. SDCAD looking to short. What you say? We'll take a look. NAS 100, lots of profits. I've sent it to you. Not NAS. Were you short on that one? Because I was looking at the indices this morning to see what happened last night, and yeah, they all dropped with the news last night. Seen some upside now, but yeah, they're all still bearish. But yeah, I'm guessing you were selling. Although you are scalping, so yeah, you could have done a bit of both, but I'm guessing you were selling. We'll take a look at the indices though. Pound ADT looking to short. I love it. So technical, landed on his ass. Yeah, I mean, that is a very technical saying. A lot of professionals are saying these days. But yeah, we'll go for pound yen. So pound yen. So I was actually looking to short pound yen this morning because price action was looking very, very good. We had this huge impulsive move. That price just hasn't continued, and we just seen bearish momentum come through. So after we took out those lows yesterday, I said on the stream, looking for some potential upside. I said back into the prior high or maybe 165. We could roll over back down to these lows here. So that's what I was looking for pound yen this morning. And I was looking to short, and I remember I woke up, price was like trading around here-ish. It was looking very, very bullish. I was like, okay, could be some nice shorts coming out later. And then next thing I look, price has already smacked its head into that level and it starts to bleed down. I'm like, yeah, risk to war's not looking too good, so I'll probably let it be. And the next thing I know, pound yen's all the way down there. So in this type of scenario, it's very, very good to use well, you can see the advantage of using orders, because if you just set an order here, then you wouldn't have to worry about entry signal or confirmation. Just stop loss above the level, give yourself some room to work with, and obviously you're seeing some very, very nice profit there. Obviously, me who uses candlestick patterns, there's not really much signal to get into this trade, obviously. So in those type of scenarios, I just have to take the L on that one and missed opportunity. But the thing about the market, there's always another opportunity around the corner, so I'm not too bothered. And if we do take out these lows for pound yen, which I think we could well and do, I'm not surprised if pound yen gets all the way back down here, because we've made this high up here at 167.830, and we failed to see some new highs past this point. So the market is now very, very tired. It's had this colossal move to the upside, very, very choppy retracement. It's tried to go bullish again with a lot of momentum, but it's completely fallen back down. And all that bullish momentum we saw over the past few days has completely been, disappeared? Not the word. Decimated. You know what I'm talking about. It's been erased. So now I'm expecting the market to go and take out some of these lows, because we failed to take out liquidity above the highs there. So now it's going to have to take liquidity below the lows. It's basically what happened with gold, with the Russia-Ukraine news that was coming out in March. We had the highs there. Price didn't take out the highs there. Failed to take out liquidity above that. So what did it do? Go and take out liquidity below the lows, and that's what I'm expecting pound yen to do now, to go and take out liquidity below these lows and potentially below these lows as well. So yeah, pound yen, I favor more shorts long term, but I don't know what the pound news could do. We could skyrocket back to these areas here over the news, but then I think that would just give us a good opportunity to short it back down again. Yen's been quite strong. We've seen a lot of yen pairs dart to the downside, as you can see. Obviously, how long that will last, I'm not too sure. But in terms of technicals and price action alone, I do expect a lot more downside now for pound yen to probably take up these lows most likely, and most likely return back to this support here at 156. So what I'll be looking for pound yen is basically what I was looking for this morning. Some more upside to short it back down again. It's just, a little bit hectic right now. So I think let things settle. Fear of missing out will be high around now, especially if the news coming out, that will cause a bit more ruckus. Just let the market be, and then we can find opportunities later on. But yeah, pound yen, I do see more downside for this one, but looking for some retracement, and I'm expecting these lows to be taken out and price to be coming down to 156 eventually. Again, that might be 1, 2, 3 weeks into the future, but that's the direction I do see pound yen heading towards. Let me know what you guys are looking at for pound yen. I mean, there could be some nice short-term buys coming into this area here, because obviously a lot of wicks in there, so we could see some upside. Maybe the news could push us up, but again, it's nothing that I really want to trade, to be perfectly honest. I mean, that price action is horrendous there. So yeah, I'll let pound yen do its thing with the news coming out later. NZD CAD, I'll take a look at sure thing. I'll go into some of the indices as well. Pound USD, AUD looking to short. Yeah, I was short. 200-point move, yeah. Big push to the downside. Nice catch though, Ross. I think it will go low with the Bank of England. I'm not too sure to be honest. I mean, technicals still point down, so it could do, but if it does push up, that would just invite us to sell it back down again, obviously with the necessary price action to enter the trade. But if Bank of England does push pound yen up, I'll be looking to sell it back down. And if it does just plummet and drop down again, I'll still be waiting for retracement anyway. So yeah, if Bank of England does push it up, that's good, because that means we can get some shorts in, probably tomorrow when things settle a little bit, or maybe later today, who knows. But yeah, from technicals, I've got this one going down, so if it pushes up, cool. If it goes down, I'll still have to look for retracement anyway. But all I can say right now is that we're at a very colossal support right now. You can see all these wicks here on the daily time frame, so I wouldn't be surprised if Bank of England does push us up, and then maybe we can short it back down tomorrow or something like that. So yeah, I'm not really looking to trade the news. I'm more the type of person to see what happens with the news, unless I'm already in the trade, and I'll see it through like FOMC yesterday. But if I'm not in the trade, I'll just see what happens and then get involved later. NZD CAD still pretty bearish. It's slowly rolling over. This one's just lower high after lower high. It's Mr. Consistent, this one. So yeah, with this, it's still rolling over. Long-term targets is around, I can't remember now. Yeah, around here. So price is still not quite there yet, and that's why I still have the vision of price getting towards 0.78, 0.775. But again, very corrective. We could see price break out the channel first before we do get that bigger drop, or we could just roll over. Completely depends on price. But if you're looking to short, with this one, I'll probably wait for a bit more of a move to the upside before shorting. We're still kind of at the lows of the channel, and we could still see price drift higher up. As you can see, I mean, the pattern has been pretty much immaculate. Price has been bouncing from the trend line to trend line very well, to be fair. So again, I wouldn't look to short kind of midway into that. We could still see a bit more upside. So yeah, I do agree with the shorts for NZD CAD. Just the price action is not great here. You want price to probably move a little bit higher first, maybe come test this area along with the trend line and then roll over. That would make a lot more sense. But I do agree with the direction. Just NZD CAD, not the best kind of area to short. From my analysis, I would wait for it to climb a little bit higher first, and then maybe some shorts could develop later. Pound USD and AUD USD will take a look. So did see some more downside for those pairs, obviously with dollar strength. Pound USD dropped some more, hit, was it 1.12? So this one is very close to 1, which is, where is 1? Okay, it's not that close. It's all the way down there, but it's not too far off 1.1, which it could be heading to next. I mean, I do think 1.00 could actually happen, to be fair, which would be crazy, because it wasn't too long ago that £1 was worth $2, and then if they're equal, that's a big collapse for pound. But yeah, pound USD still bearish. yeah, with this one, I'm obviously retesting some price support from yesterday, turn resistance. Price looks like it's reacting to this again. Excuse me. With the Bank of England coming out later, is it something that you're really going to try and get involved with? If you are fair play, I mean, do what you need to do. If you're already in a trade, say from down here, then fair enough. You can just manage that, stop loss to break even, and let the news what it needs to do. But obviously, with the news coming out later, is it worth the risk? I'm not really seeing a really good opportunity here, other than the break and retest there that's kind of happening right now. Other than that, pound USD is trading at some lows that we haven't been at a very, very long time. There's not a lot to work with on the higher time frames, other than the bearish trend we have right now. In fact, I'm kind of hoping pound USD kind of skyrockets a little bit to the upside to come to some of these areas, maybe take out some of these lower highs, and then we can get some better, bigger swing shorts for maybe next week. So I'm actually hoping price actually does push up. But at this rate, I'm not trying to jump the gun or guess what's going to happen. I just let price do what it needs to do. So yeah, with pound, everything is still bearish with this one. You can see the consistent lower highs in the market is printing. This could potentially be another one. But ideally, I do want price to push up to give me another major lower high like it did over there, and then catch the next wave to the downside. But the market could plummet again, really. So yeah, I'm not really seeing a clear opportunity for pound. The break and retest is at best is what you're looking to get from this one. Yeah, but personally, I'll wait for after the news before, looking to enter anything like that. AUSD will take a look. No problem. Hey, Jordan, welcome to the stream. How are you? Hope you're well. What happened while I was away? I don't know. A lot has happened. I don't know how long you've been away for. But the market is a bit spicy today. I'll leave it at that. Hey, Jesus is Lord. Hi, Miko. Can you look at silver? Sure thing, we'll look at silver, no problem. Will you put it in the group when you go for sell? I'll be interested to look at that. Yeah, 100%. If I get a sell on pound gem, I'll definitely let you guys know. So yeah, hopefully you can get something. I don't know. I don't think later today. If the news does push it up, it'll probably take some time to develop and get a price action. Maybe later today, but most likely maybe tomorrow or even early next week. So, but yeah, the bias I have for pound gem, it's a swing bias. It's going to take its time, but that is where I see price going. So when I get a short opportunity, I'll definitely let you guys know. Whenever I get it is when I get it. But yeah, 156 is where I do see this guy going next. So stay tuned for that. It's looking good. It's looking good. But yeah, just have to weigh out the news, because the news could take us down there. The news could take us down there, which would be annoying, but the news could do that. So yeah, that's with pound yen. AUSD. So yeah, AUSD seeing some upside as well. Some of the dollar pairs seeing some upside, as you can see there. Again, nothing too crazy. Market's still consistent with the lower highs and playing with that theme there. Would be a nice little break and retest of that level. Similar, pretty much the same setup as pound USD, really retesting that former support from yesterday and the day before, broke to the downside, and that's retesting that. So yeah, we could look to roll over again from this broken support, turn resistance. Again, not a lot to work with AUSD. You can see we haven't been in these prices for a very, very long time. So a little bit exposed here, hence why I was talking about expecting some retracement higher to sell it back down again. It would be nice if price was to revisit this area here, take out some of those minor lower highs here, retest that structure, then see a bigger drop to the downside. That would be nice, but we'll have to see, because we could just fall from here, of course. In terms of long-term targets, still expecting us to come back down to these lows here and probably go and fill that COVID wick. So I do still see a lot of mileage to the downside with AUSD. I'm just looking for good sell opportunities. But from a day trading perspective, short term sells off that do look good. But again, I wouldn't hold on it for too long, because we're in a little bit, exposed prices where price hasn't really been at this area for quite a while. So yeah, if you do get short, don't be there for too long. Back to those lows and take your profit and run, sort of thing. So hopefully that was helpful for pound USD and AUD USD. I'm smiling all the way. Best I have ever been to. Respect, but serious. I suppose you mean Euro USD as well. I mean, that's great to hear, Jordan. That's great to hear. Uh, hey, Emmanuel. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, gaming channel. Welcome. Can you please take a look at NZC Chef? Sure thing. Pound yen. Yeah, I just did that one. If you didn't catch it, let me know. The market's too volatile to trade today. To be honest, I'll be waiting for Friday, I think. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Thoughts on gold? Yeah, I'll take a look as well. No problem, Backriz. Happy to help. Yeah, that's definitely a good shout, to be fair, because I know a lot of beginners and people just, kind of in the market to have fun a little bit. Are definitely, sweating a little bit right now and looking to get involved because they're seeing the markets fly. And there'll be people on social media posting like really good trades, maybe selling the yen pairs or something like that. You get the fear of missing out, and you feel like you need to step into the market too, or you're going to miss out on something. So a lot of people will be getting that kind of emotion right now, which is fair enough. Who doesn't want to get involved and be a part of a move? But you have to learn to accept those emotions and put it to one side a little bit, because what we're seeing right now is very easy to get stopped out, wicked out, especially with the way the market is moving. You can see there, pound yen, colossal move to the downside. It's not messing around at all. So do you have to be careful in these conditions? Wait for your setup to come. If it's not there, let the market do its thing. We don't have to trade all the time to make money. So just let things be, especially with the news coming out in 2 hours as well for pound. It's definitely a good time to be sitting on your hands. But yeah, I'll take a look at Euro USD. I'll take a look at silver, and I'll move on to NZC Chef as well, and gold as well. So silver I'll start with, and then I'll go to euro. So yeah, silver's actually looking good. I'm still looking for the same move that I said yesterday. We had a nice little break and retest of that. Looking for potential lower high there on the daily. It's not looking great on the lower time frames like 4H and hourly, but daily is looking good for potential lower high for us to return, maybe back down some of these lows or those lows there. So for this one, just kind of waiting for that price action to tidy up. I was expecting it to roll over when we were trading around here, but we found support, and then obviously the FOMC happened and price got a little bit messy as well. So I'm waiting for silver to tidy up. I'm not really seeing a good opportunity right now. I know we're coming to resistance, but it doesn't make sense with the way the market is moving. It's still trying to move to the upside with the momentum. You can see price pull back here, strong move 1, strong move 2, big move to the downside, depleted, and now we're seeing momentum come back in again. So I'm expecting silver to push through to the upside and probably revisit this high here and potentially that high there as well, and maybe even take them out into 20. So yeah, with silver short term, it's looking bullish and probably will see these highs taken out, but I'm not really a bull in this market. I'm still quite bearish, so I'm waiting for some bearish confirmations first, and then I'll look to jump in and see if we can get some sells similar to gold as well. I do have both of them going down, but right now silver is showing me bullish momentum and price action here on the hourly and the 4H. So I'll expect market to probably push up a little bit higher. Like I said, probably take up those two highs, and then maybe after we've taken them out, we might see some good bearish signals. But yeah, short term, it's looking like silver's got another leg to the upside, and then maybe we could get some shorts back down. So hopefully that was beneficial. Euro USD. So yeah, Euro USD tanked to the downside. Obviously reacting to some bullish dollar there, broke through those lows and still making lower lows and lower highs. So with this one, with Euro USD, it's starting to look a lot better now. In the week, it was a little bit choppy with the consolidation, and now we've seen momentum really come back in, and especially we've seen those lows taken out. So if we were to retest this range here, we probably can get some really nice sells. Really nice sells back to this area. You can see a lot of momentum, stalled, a lot of momentum. So if you revisit this, probably see a nice reaction and a continuation to the downside, and probably see another bearish leg, at least back to these lows, or coming back into these lows here. So yeah, Euro USD does look good, but I do want to see some more upside to retest that range, retest the support of the range or break back in, something like that. and then catch themselves back down again. So in terms of analysis and bias and direction, it's still to the downside. It's pretty much always been to the downside for euro. Just need to see some retracement into that consolidation, and some shorts will be looking good there. Again, long-term bias for Euro USD, still looking for us to return back to some of these areas, which were not too far away at 0.95113. So I still do see more downside for euro, even long-term as well. Even long-term, just want to see a good healthy pullback on this one, retest some structure, and we can see that next bearish leg to the downside. Anyone else looking to trade Euro USD as well? Silver, Euro USD, look at NTCHF, sure, gold, take a look. NZJPY, of course. What Japan did was criminal. What did Japan do? Oh, are you talking about the moves in the market, or are you talking about something that actually has happened? US 30, sure, crazy day, a lot of volatility, not sure if it's worth taking a risk. Yeah, again, it's all about, understanding yourself as a trader and understanding your style and your trading. If it's not a good time for you to trade, then obviously don't trade, don't trade. And like me, I'm not looking to trade right now. I do have some good pairs that I've got my eye on, but nothing there for me to trade. Yeah, so if there is a trade for you, again, the best thing to do, especially as a very technical trader, the way I see the market is always price action, price action, price action. And if you do get a good setup, even if the market is a little bit volatile, just increase your stop loss by a little bit, but still look to take the trade because you want to practice that consistency and that discipline. And these volatile conditions could give you a really nice runner, a very, very nice runner, if obviously you get a good setup though. If there's no setup and then trying to force something, that's when things get ugly. But yeah, if you do have a setup, I will still advocate looking to take the setup. But if you're not comfortable with the conditions, then obviously don't take the setup. But if you're looking for that consistency, you want to be taking trades after trade after trade that do match your plan, because that will build up a good disciplined muscle. But yeah, what else I was gonna look at? Gold, US 30 and NZJPY. Okay, so gold. So yeah, gold was all over the place yesterday. It was taking out people's stop losses below and above. It was going for everyone. So as you can see on the hourly here, if I do map out these lows, you can see price just about pinched those lows there to the downside, and obviously wrecked those stop losses there to the upside. So gold was going for everyone. Inside, I was short from this one around this area here. It went and hit my first target here, and I got a nice little alert on my phone because I wasn't actually watching the charts at the time. The news was coming out, but I got alert on my phone that price just came into these lows here. So I did take my profit, and again, it's the same pattern happens where when we get the FOMC and you get the first kind of reaction when the news comes out at 7 or whenever that is in your time, wherever you're in the world. And then when you get the speech 30 minutes later, that's when things just change completely. Like I've seen that many, many times now, where the FOMC comes out, things are going one direction, and then the speech comes out later. I'm not too sure who does the speech. And then it just switches direction. It's done this many, many times. So I kind of had the inclination that price was just going to turn around. But in pairs like Euro USD, the turnaround didn't last too long. And other dollar pairs and indices as well. You can see on Euro USD, if I go back to that pair quickly, where are you? You can see it did turn around a little bit here. So it was very, very bearish. It turned around and then it came back down again. Now it's seen some upside as well. But gold did it very, very well. Very, very well. So yeah, did manage to hit first TP. I'm still looking at this one going a lot lower. My main target 1600 and 1550. I'll still be looking to trade gold back down there. But yeah, gold right now is a little bit hectic. You can see we had the ranging market. Price is kind of taken out both the highs. Now we're back in that range. Big bullish engulfing candle, but again, momentum doesn't really make too much difference when we're trading in a range. Again, don't be too drawn into big candles when the market is moving sideways. If this was trending and we're seeing big candles, then yeah, we expect momentum to continue. But in these conditions here, we could just come into reaction here and just turn around very, very quickly. So with gold, I'm letting this one breathe a little bit. In terms of bias and everything, is still very much short. I would love to see if we can break through the range properly and maybe come and retest some of these areas here, which is my second area of interest for gold at 16.96, and then then tank. But yeah, I'm not in love with that price action at all for gold. So with this one, I'll let gold do its thing. If you're looking to trade a range, then feel free, but it's not even the best range to trade in my opinion. So I'd wait to see if gold can move a little bit higher into 16.92, 16.95, and then from there I'll be looking for the next bearish leg, or maybe even slightly higher into 1700, 1703, 1705, into this kind of consolidation and that support. So I'm looking for upside for a lot of the dollar pairs: AUD USD, Euro USD, Pound USD, AUD USD, gold. I'm looking for upside for them to short them back down. And again, not necessarily looking for upside because I think they're going to go up. It's just that I want them to go up so I can get some good swing shorts. They could just bleed from where they are right now, but that's not really a good opportunity for me. Maybe there might be some like short term, short opportunities back down to these lows here. Because we are coming to this resistance here, as you can see. Maybe we can catch some short terms into that, but yeah, that's just definitely not what I would look to trade at all. So yeah, I'll let this one breathe a little bit. So hopefully that made sense on gold. I'll take a look at what pair did I say I was going to look at. Short memory. Okay, NZJPY US 30. Sure, no problem. It has been a crazy week, a lot of wick rejections. Yeah, the market's been a little bit all over the place, to be fair. Again, that can be good and bad. Obviously, if you're in the right direction, fantastic. If you're in the wrong direction, yeah, it's unfortunate, to be fair. But again, sometimes the market's going to be dry, sometimes it's going to be flying all over the place. So our job as traders to navigate through that and stick to the plan as always. Question: can you skip commission on trades if you had your own broker as a trader? Yeah, of course. Are you saying if you own your own broker? So you set up a broker, of course you can do what you like. It's your broker. Yeah, of course. If you own a broker, then you can do what you want in terms of commission, of course. Can't necessarily do what you want, but yeah. Japan intervened in the market. That's why all the yen pairs dropped. Wow. I mean, again, I wasn't really paying attention to what's happened. I was just too busy looking at the yen pairs flying. There was Bank of England. Not Bank of England. Sorry, there was Bank of. Hey, thank you so much, Maxi, for subscribing. There was Bank of Japan something that I saw earlier. Yeah, so Bank of Japan had an interest rate decision at 4 a.m. in the morning, UK time. So yeah, that was like 3 hours, 3-4 hours before the yen pairs actually started moving crazy. I don't know if it was still reacting to that, but yeah, we did have Bank of Japan earlier, and now the market's kind of being crazy. I would expect it to be then, but the yen pairs are very, very strong. Not strong. Yen is strong. They're weak. But at this rate, especially pound yen, I do think it continue. So US 30 will take a look, no problem. Yanzi JPY will take a look as well. Euro USD is making a big W on monthly chart. I think it might turn. I'm interested in that. Euro USD big W on the monthly chart might turn. Oh, that's the 30-minute. Okay, so what is this W talking about? You're talking about. Okay, is a W a double bottom pattern? I'm not really too sure of the W and the M patterns. To me, they're just double bottoms or double tops. If that's what it is. If it's not, then let me know. But on the monthly time frame, all I'm looking at is price in this kind of massive bullish structure here, as you can see. And I'm looking at price returning back to this area of demand here. So that's where I've got Euro USD heading towards. And then maybe from there we might see a bigger upside move. We do have this kind of structure here, so I do think we can see some upside, maybe a third lower high form. Then we can get a bigger reaction to the downside. But again, all of that is very, very long term and a bit subjective. But yeah, I do think there is upside for Euro USD, a lot of upside, because the market is very, very overextended to the downside. But we have to be patient because everything right now is still bearish, and there's really no sign to buy this one back up just yet. But we'll take a look at NZJPY, which is still pretty bearish. Obviously, coming into these lows here, it's starting to pull back a little bit. Yeah, with this one, it's difficult because the market is still bullish. I know we've had this very impulsive bearish leg, so obviously the intraday and the intra-week momentum is very, very bearish. But in terms of structure, which is what I focus on, the market's made a high and a low, and it's made a new high. So there's a lot to go before we actually technically are bearish, but we could still see some downside and still take advantage of sales as well, even in a bullish structure. So yeah, with NZJPY, with this structure, I probably want to see some lows getting taken out, preferably that low there. If this low gets taken out, I expect a lot of downside for NZJPY, probably to go and take out these lows here. But because we've obviously ripped to the upside, the market is now coming down into this support here. I think for this one, you could probably see some upside, maybe coming back into this sort of area here, maybe even back to these highs, maybe even back to those highs. So I'd favor some upside, but again, I wouldn't hold this trade for too long because yes, the market is still bullish in the higher time frames, but again, all these strong bearish momentum, these strong downside moves here is a sign that the market is struggling to continue and it's looking to reverse soon come. Similar with pound yen, with all these strong moves to the downside, is a sign that the market is running out of momentum. It can't sustain the bullish momentum that we saw earlier on, and it's running out of juice. So with this one, buys do look good, especially where we're trading right now. Really, really strong support, and obviously it's still in line with the higher time frames, but I wouldn't hold on to those buys for too long. And like I said, 85 is like a good target, and from there I'll probably look to exit that trade. So yeah, NZJPY looks good. Nice buys in that one from 83 200. Price action is a little bit all over the place, so I'll wait for things to settle a little bit before looking to trade that, especially with that huge bearish candle there. But again, don't be put off too much by that bearish candle, because that will definitely invite a lot of sellers straight into that support, which could actually spring a nice move to the upside and add a bit more confidence to the trade. Just wait for some development for price to build up and give us a good candlestick pattern or something like that to buy it back up. But that is where I do see the market heading for NZJPY, but we could roll over from 85 as well, so catch some nice sales. So hopefully that made sense there for NZJPY. We'll take a look at US 30 now as well. So yeah, I'll take a look at NZD CAD. If I recall correctly, Miko had said USJPY was overextended, so I was lucky, was on a sell entry from 145. Nice much. Yeah, USJPY, of course all the JPYs did take a tumble, but yeah, really good entry, because 145, I'm pretty sure, I'll take a look in a second, was the high that price was banging its head on. Okay, so yeah, US 30, obviously we're back down at these lows here. How we actually tested the wick lows, not quite, but we are in the vicinity of it. So for me, price is kind of retesting that support, but I do think we are likely to take out the lows though. So, I'm a very, very wick kind of guy. I'm looking for the lows or highs to be taken out. So I do think those lows are likely to go there based on what's going on in the higher time frames, based on what's going on in the higher time frames and the structure we're seeing. So I'm most likely going to take out those lows at 29,674, but we could retrace up before that happens first, before we do take them out. So if that happens, that gives us a good opportunity to short it. But obviously here is not enough. There's not enough momentum. So yeah, with this one, as the potential areas to short, we've got the break and retest of that. and we've got kind of this kind of supply up there, resistance up there, where price struggled to break through that level there. So that's what, 30,925. That will look like a really, really good area to short it back from. Even the break and retest on 30,500, nice psychological level as well, would look good. But I still do see more downside for US 30. So in terms of direction, destination, still expecting more downside for US 30, 29,674, the lows I expect to go. But we could see kind of price react with this big psychological level there. As you can see, we could see price react with that, see some upside, and that could give us a good opportunity to short it back down again. So yeah, with US 30, might see some upside, but in terms of where I still see this one going, it's still to the downside. So if it does pull up a little bit further, yeah, that's a good opportunity to short the rallies and get involved with the sells. So hopefully that made sense down US 30. So yeah, US 30. Now take a look at which pair was it? SD CAD I'll run through quickly. US JPY I'll take a look at, and some other JPY pairs I want to go through it as well. No problem, the Kingdom Gal. Happy to help. I want to know the pairs you've got eyes on. Yeah, I'll go through my watch list as well. Pound AUD sales are crazy. Pound AUD, what was happening with Pound AUD? Because I remember we were looking at that one yesterday. We're favouring some Pound AUD sales, but this one, yeah, so it did roll over, but obviously it came back up. So hopefully you took some profit there with this one. But again, that's why partials are important, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Price can pull back against you. But yeah, right now the price action is not looking that good anymore. It was looking good yesterday. We're expecting those lows to go. It did go, but however, price just didn't sustain the lows. It obviously pulled back, and now it's in this range again. So I'm not really seeing too good of opportunity here for Pound AUD anymore. To be fair, we could actually consolidate them from a higher low, because now we failed to push lower. Now price could potentially break to the upside, and that should give us a higher low and another push to the upside. You can see we've got the equal lows down here, higher low 1, higher low 2, and then potentially could actually see price go and take out those highs there. But of course, want price to obviously break out the consolidation to the upside. So yeah, buys could actually be looking good now for Pound AUD since we failed to break lower. Obviously wait for the breakout first. We could still break to the downside, but this is a big fake out for me, so I would expect it to break in the opposite direction. But yeah, I wouldn't say there's any good opportunity right now. Of course, if you're looking to trade the range, then be my guest, but I'll wait for a breakout before stepping in, and again, I'll probably wait after news as well, which is in an hour and 10 minutes or so for Pound AUD. But yeah, we'll take a look at NZD CAD and US JPY. So yeah, NZD CAD, I just went through that one. Again, sales still look good for this one. Still do have a long-term bias back down there, but it's very, very corrective, and it's not in the best place to sell the market. You do want to be looking for sells, at the highs of the channel. You can see price react to the channel beautifully, very, very well. So basically, you do have a good chance of catching sells just anywhere in this vicinity. Rather than looking to sell, in this area here. We could roll over, yes, but probability is not that high. And as traders, obviously, we want to favor high probability opportunities. So yeah, coming into this area here, broken support there, last up move to the downside. Could see a nice reaction from there, and then a continuation lower. But yeah, in here, price action a little bit all over the place, kind of consolidating a little bit. So I wouldn't really touch it. Especially if you are looking for sales, I would wait for this one to go a little bit higher. But I still do see more downside. And even if we do break out the channel and have like a big move up, I still see the market moving down. So for me, the market's most likely going to form a lower high somewhere, and we get our sales. But that is what I've got going for NZD CAD. And yeah, use the JPY. Again, we were talking about this one. I remember yesterday I was talking about some upside moves for this one. We did see them because I was looking for price to hit 145, which is where you sold the market. So we were banging our heads on this level here once and twice, and then we formed the low down here. Then we started forming some higher lows. So I was favoring price to go and retest this for a third time because we were squeezing with this trend line in that resistance there. And obviously price had a crazy move to the... Ooh, I did not mean to do that. There we go. So we had price squeeze between the trend line and that resistance there. And we had a big kind of crazy move to the upside. Obviously, just before that we had FOMC, and then obviously the yen strength came in, and price absolutely died to the downside there. So yeah, price a little bit all over the shop now. Hopefully you're taking your profit there though. Hopefully you're taking your profit there with that USD JPY trade, because who knows what can happen now. You could actually just fill back to the highs potentially. Because obviously the market is still bullish in the higher time frames. I would not, be surprised if the market did do that. But yeah, price actually not looking good anymore. It's kind of like a bigger range now, really, in my opinion. So yeah, good trade though. Good trade. I mean, great trade. If you were short on yen this morning, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a great trade. However which way you got involved, but nice trade in support now, and now it's a little bit all over the place. So I'll just wait for that to clear up a little bit before reanalyzing and potentially finding some more opportunities for that one. But really nice trade. I will get onto my watch list pairs on my watch list. Did I just answer that question? Fools are short the JPY again. Watch them drop, intervene again. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. If it can go again. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised. But again, in these kind of conditions, though, I'll definitely kind of hold off a little bit, especially with pound yen, because that's the pair I'm looking to trade. But yeah, so I'll go for my pairs on my watch list now. But pound yen, I'm still looking to trade, but of course, I'll give it probably an hour after the news. So the news comes out at 12. I probably wouldn't look at the pair until like 1 p.m. UK time, and I'll see what's happening then. But I'm still looking to trade this one. I'm looking for shorts for pound yen. Long-term vision, potentially back down to 156. I do want to see price take out these lows, but I'm pretty confident we will take out those lows there. The market's just formed a major lower high in respect to that high up there, and liquidity is still not taken up there. So I would expect price to go and do the exact opposite and go and take a liquidity beneath these lows and maybe drawn into this area here as well. So I still do see more downside for pound yen. I'm looking to short it, but it's obviously trading at a very, very strong support. So I'm looking to see if we can get some upside. Maybe the news will give us that, and then we can get the follow through to the downside. But pound yen is definitely on the watch list. Back to this resistance would be fantastic. Same place it came from. If we could do something like this, that would be beautiful. And then yeah, I'll short it back down to the lows. And then if I'm feeling brave, I might push it down to 156 as well. Excuse me. So yeah, pound yen, I'm not short, but I'm looking to get short on this one. And I do expect price to be pushing down to 156 eventually. So that's my plan for pound yen, but I will let things settle a little bit first. So like I said, probably won't look at the pair until 1 p.m. So that's about 2 hours from now. Obviously, I'll be looking at through the stream, but once the stream is over, I'll wait for the news to do its thing, and then I'll take a look after. But yeah, I've no plan to trade the news today for Bank of England. So if anyone's trading the news, good luck with that. But I won't be on board. Scarred from FOMC yesterday. So yeah, well, pound yen's one of them. I'm also looking to trade gold still, but I'm looking to see if this one can come a little bit higher first, above the range here into 162, 165, and then from there looking to short the pair back down again. We're short in there, but it's very, very choppy now. It could still roll over because it had a big kind of stop hunt there. Not stop hunt, but a big wick to the upside. So that could still potentially happen. But yeah, it's not really great in terms of risk reward as well. Into that support, it's not looking good either. So I'm hoping gold can push up again and potentially look for some sells there and see it come back down again. But in terms of bias and everything, I still expect gold to make it down to 1600 and then potentially 1550, which is down here as well. So I'm expecting a lot more downside for gold. I'm just hoping I can catch the pair. Catch the move. So yeah, gold still bearish, looking for this one to come a lot further. AUD CAD, I'm looking at selling this guy as well. Targets back down here at 0.87482. Still looking at shorting this one, but price action has been a mess all week. It hasn't really given me a good opportunity to get involved. I'm still looking at shorting this one, but you can see it's very, very messy. So maybe you can print some more lower highs. I'll look to get involved or break through some structure, something like that, and that will trigger me into the trade. But obviously, any of these pairs, if I do get anything, I will let you know. On my Telegram channel, so feel free to check that out if you want to. But yeah, AUD CAD, pound yen, Euro AUD, I'm seeing if that one can break through some structure for some sells. So far, it's showing some nice consolidation here, but it's still a little bit sketchy, and it's still kind of correctively trending to the upside. So I'm really waiting for some structure to break first, and that will trigger me into some sells. But I'm still looking for the long-term kind of collapse for this one back down to these lows. I've got a lower high there, and I'm looking for a potential lower high somewhere in this area, maybe a bit higher. But I'm looking for a lower high somewhere and shorts back down to these lows. So I'm waiting for structure to change first, a lower high to form, and then shorts is what I'm looking to do. And targets, I'll just be playing off these 4H lows here. Maybe I might push it down to those lows if things are looking good, but probably won't push it that far, to be honest. But yeah, Euro AUD, I'm looking for a reversal for this one. Not quite there, but we are seeing some signs that price is running out of steam. Now I'll look to short it back down, and then if I can get the opportunity. And Euro CAD, this one as well, I did miss the buy trade, unfortunately, for this one at 1.32. I've been talking all week about Euro CAD, about buys from 1.32, sells from 1.34. But the buy signal that I got here formed after the FOMC, and it closed at 8, and I don't take trades past 7 p.m. Typically taking trades after 7 p.m. UK time. Success rate is not very, very good. The market's a little bit dry, and normally they do retrace anyway. So it was outside of my time to trade, and it is reacting to the upside. So I'm looking to see if you can come and retest it and then push, or to be fair, just push to 1.34 anyway. Missed the opportunity, but I can catch some nice sells for 1.34 and take it back down again, because that's still the main kind of trade I'm looking at. Sells for 1.34. I just said if we can get a nice reaction from there, I'll probably be interested in some buys back up again from 1.32. But yeah, EuroCAD, I'm still looking to buy it up if we can come back down and retest 1.32 again. But the main trade I've got going for this one is sells for 1.34, and potentially a lower high could form where it could take us back down to those lows again. So a really nice swing opportunity is developing there for EuroCAD as well. So those are the main pairs I'm looking at: EuroCAD, pound yen, Euro AUD, AUD CAD. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and Euro NZD, but that one really hasn't formed yet. But yeah, if I do get any of those confirmations for those pairs, those trades, also I'll let you know in the Telegram. NZC Chef, sure thing, I will take a look, no problemo. Pound yen, I just did that one, hopefully did catch that Ash win. No problem, happy to help. Good morning Zesty, good morning Omar, welcome to the stream. DXY, pound USD, pound CHF, of course, UNZD, of course. You get done dirty with FOMC. Yeah, I did, to be fair, but I didn't take a loss, but I did get done dirty because I still think gold's going to roll over, but I feel like gold just kind of took out people from their trades, and now it's going to see some downside. So I did get a partial win from this one. So it was profit, but the plan for the trade is still for gold to come a lot lower. Like I said, 1600, 1550. I'm trying to really catch the swing for this one, but unfortunately hit my first TP. Went to break even after that happened, and then obviously huge move to the upside there, and just knocked my trade straight out. And to be fair, again, I'm happy I managed to trade like that, because obviously it would have been an unnecessary loss. But I'm still pretty confident that gold is still coming down. So I feel like gold has probably taken out a lot of people who are selling here to now, get ready for that bigger move, because gold was ranging, to be fair. So it needed something to happen, something to get things moving again. And this could be the catalyst for that. So gold could potentially roll over. Again, I'm not really looking for entries here anymore. Number one, risk towards not looking good, back down to these lows. And number two, the entry signals are not really there for me on my time frame. So I'm hoping gold could come a little bit higher first, or even break through the consolidation, retest it, and then sell off, because again, there's still a long way to go. So even if I don't catch the sell from that area, you know, I can still catch it somewhere else. And if my analysis is correct, yeah, there's still a lot of mileage for this one. So gold, yeah, partial win, but I feel like it probably is taking me out a nice winning trade there. But I'll still look to get back in with this one. So yeah, we'll see what happens there with gold. But I'll take a look at the DXY. So yeah, DXY, huge move to the upside. Okay, it's pulling back quite aggressively right now. Interesting. Yeah, the market is just very, very volatile today, especially with FOMC coming up later. The market is definitely going to be spicy indeed. So yeah, DXY still very, very bullish. Again, I'm going the higher time frames to see where we're trading. Yesterday I was talking about price coming into this area, which is kind of coming into right now around 112, which is kind of like the inverse of where I was talking about on Euro USD, which is this high. Let's delete that, which is this high over here. So that's what I'm looking for Euro USD to get to. And obviously if I just flip that, you can see the similarities there for the Euro USD and the DXY. If I just flip it around, so very, very similar prices. So that's what I'm expecting price to get to before maybe we could reverse. We could actually go and take those highs out, but that's where we could start to see some major friction for Euro USD and the DXY. So yeah, things are still pretty bullish now, not quite there, but you know, in terms of the daily, the 4H and the hourly, everything is still very, very bullish for this one. And in fact, buys might be looking good on the retest of this consolidation, which is a similar opportunity on Euro USD. You know, retest that consolidation, next higher low, get the continuation for price to go higher. Euro USD is that same thing as well. Retest that consolidation, and then we can get continuations to go lower. So yeah, pound DXY, expect price to go up, probably hit 112. So still favoring dollar strength, and pound USD can still see some more downside, but there's not a lot to do with pound USD. I know, you know, a lot of day traders who trade pound USD, you know, you're kind of in these prices where you're gonna have to make do with what price is giving you. As a swing trader, you know, I'm looking for price to bounce off structure in different levels. And here, this very, very unknown territory for me. I want price to go and find some structure higher up, because I'm not really want to be basing sells in this area. You can do on the low time frames, but again, even if on those lower time frames, you don't want to hold the trade for too long as well, especially at these prices here. So yeah, pound USD, retesting that broken support there, 1.135. Other than that, there's not much to do with this one. There's not much to do. You know, like I said, I'm still looking to see pound USD to come and retest 1.155. And if you can get there, that'll be fantastic. And I'll sell it back down for the next lower high. Other than that, all we've got really is the break and retest. So yeah, that's about it. Because looking left, you know, there's nothing there. So yeah, pound USD, consistent lower highs, could see another one form and could roll over. Obviously, with the Bank of England coming out later, that could skew things up. So I recommend, if you're not already in a trade for pound in general, you know, pound pairs in general, just wait for after the news, give a good half an hour or an hour after the news, and then reanalyze the charts after that when things have settled, because you know the price the price that I'm reading now might be completely irrelevant in a couple of hours time. Price could be trading up here or it could be trading down here. So yeah, to do analysis, just give it a good hour or so after the news. NZD USD, I'll take a look at that one. NZD CHF, sorry, I'll take a look at that one, I completely forgot. NZD CHF, so again, for this one, a big reaction to the upside. CHF was very, very weak. You can see CHF JPY absolutely took a huge hit to the downside there. As you can see, this is the hourly time frame. Yeah, this is all the price action yesterday. Was looking very, very bullish at one point, then boom, and then boom. Huge move to the downside. If I do measure that in pips, from the low to the high of the move, looking about 700 pips. Yeah, that's a lot of pips for me. That is a lot of pips. So yeah, CHF JPY collapsed on the downside there, and obviously JPY was quite strong, and CHF was very weak. So NCCHF popped to the upside very aggressively, and NCCHF again trading at some prices we haven't been at a long time. I'm still looking at NCCHF fitting this wick here back down to these lows, but we are testing the bodies here, so the market could react from this area, maybe see some upside, but long term, the trend is still down, and I still expect us to go and fill that wick there. So with NCCHF, what we're looking for is retracement, which we could be getting right now, to be fair. We could be getting right now. Price is coming, retesting this support here, term resistance, could form a nice little lower high around this area, and again could potentially roll over from there, but there's not too much to go with other than the price action there. So yeah, NCCHF bearish buy, still favoring price to come down. Still favoring price to come down, but there's not a lot to work with it. There's not a lot to work with. If price can have a bigger move to the upside, develop some nice price action, that would be great. But in terms of this, you can see the structure and the way price is moving. Low, high, low down there. This could be the next lower high. I probably doubt it. We might come back down to here before maybe price seeing some more upside, something like that. So again, shorts your best bet, but I wouldn't hold on to the trade for too long. Because we could reverse. So yeah, NCCHF still looking pretty good, but yeah, kind of not really the best prices to be shorting at. So long term is not the best bet. Short term sales, day trading, yeah, feel free. So yeah, NCCHF, hopefully that helped gaming channel. Pound CHF, I'll take a look. USD, no problem. USD CAD, I buy this one on hourly engulfing. Okay, we'll take a look. We'll take a look at USD CAD. Okay, well, first we'll take a look at Pound CHF. So Pound CHF, I did go through earlier. Again, some analysis to NCCHF, because with this one, again, trading middle of nowhere, price is not really at is at a good level. We have hit a nice psychological level, so yes, that is an area of importance. But other than that, there's nothing else to do here. There's nothing else to do. You want price to develop a little bit further and give us some more data to work with. So Pound CHF, it's retesting this resistance here. I said earlier, if we can hold this level, that'll be some nice sells. Again, you want to wait for a nice confirmation there. There's no real confirmation at all that price is holding on to that. And if it does go and break through this resistance, I'll probably just leave the trade and let it be. Obviously, Pound CHF is a pound pair, and it will be effective with the pound that's coming out later. And as we're speaking, this is absolutely flying. I don't know if it's CHF or pound. I think it is CHF. CHF is just doing craziness right now. I don't think pound's moving much. Yeah, pound's getting ready for an hour's time. CHF is the one that's just acting up. So yeah, with this one, obviously, I'll probably wait for things to settle. Based on how price is moving, how hectic it is, I'll wait for things to settle for CHF, especially pound CHF, the news coming out later. Yeah, I'll at least give this one an hour or two before coming back to look at this or even attempt to trade it. So yeah, I mean, the analysis still stands. If price could hold to that level, I would still expect the market to go down. If it breaks through, I'll let it be, because now we're breaking structure. We might see some more upside. I said the other day it would be nice if price was to come back and retest the consolidation up there, which it could do. Shorts from that consolidation would look very, very good indeed. But yeah, I'm not really seeing much of an opportunity unless we pull back and reject that level there. That would be good. Other than that, I'll leave Pound CHF alone, especially with the pound news coming out later. USD will take a look. USD CAD. What are your thoughts on gold? No problem. We'll take a look at gold as well. So yeah, I completely forgot what pair. USD, that was it. Okay, so USD, this one a little bit messy. Again, this one is on my watch list, but USD looks a lot better, so I'm favoring that one at the moment right now. And again, USD, USD, very, very similar pairs. I'm looking for sales for this one. It's touched a really nice level of resistance, as you can see when we were here last time. Huge move to the downside. Now we're back there again. Now I'm looking at major low high forming on the higher time frames, but I'm waiting for some structure to be placed here. Right now the market is still bullish because we haven't really taken out a high low. You know, this is our high low that I want price to take out, which is quite a way away, so we don't necessarily have to wait that long for price to take it out first before looking for sells. You can wait for a build up of lower highs and then take shorts based on that. So that's kind of what I'm looking for with this one. Price action for me is still pretty bullish. I know we've seen some nice down moves here, but nothing's really changed in terms of structure. And I wouldn't be surprised if price does see another one of that to the upside, hit 1.7. Price could be drawn to that psychological level before getting a bigger rollover. So with pound CHF, I got pound CHF in the brain. With USD, bearish with this one, looking for the reversal. But yeah, I haven't really got much of a sign that the price is about to reverse. Haven't got much of a sign that price is about to reverse. So yeah, nothing to do here for USD. Not in my books anyway. And I'm looking to sell. So when I start getting some lower highs building up, we've got one there, second one potentially there. So it's not even confirmed yet. If I can get maybe a 3 or a 4th, I'll entertain that. Best case scenario, we melt, take out those lows, and then I'll intervene in the next leg. Because you know, if my analysis is correct, my bias is correct, and there's a long way down for us. So there's no real need for me to try and risk capital at the highs here, and I can wait for a much, you know, much more high probability setup to form, and get involved with that. So yeah, USD bearish bias, but nothing there yet. USD CAD, I'll take a look at now. NCHF sell. Yeah, there's no confirmation there. We just looked at NCHF. So not bad area, but especially with CHF moving a little bit crazy, I'll give it some time to settle first. So USD CAD, there you are. So yeah, USD CAD, you've gone long on hourly bullish engulfing candle. So where's that hourly bullish engulfing? You're talking about this candle here? USD CAD, I buy this one on our engulfing. Maybe looking at a different broker because, or maybe not. Yeah, I'm looking at different brokers and that candle hasn't engulfed it. So yeah, USD CAD, I'm not sure if you're talking about that candle. If you are, it hasn't quite engulfed it. So technically not bullish engulfing there unless you're buying on maybe these candles there early in the day. I have no idea. But yeah, USD CAD is still pretty bullish. So USD CAD has hit 1.35. It's all my days. This one's really just flying. It's knocking out all those levels. 1.33, 1.34, 1.35. My target for this one is 1.365, and it's not actually far from now. I was expecting price to be traced when it was getting to here, but it's just still powering through. So fair play, USD CAD. So yeah, for this one, I'm still expecting more upside. 1.365 is the goal for it. 1.365 is the goal. So any downside, not any downside, but some good retracement followed by some good, you know, buy signals will be looking good for this one to go further. 1.365, there's a very, very high chance that the market does get to that level. So buys to that area do make a lot of sense, and you can find some good entry points. You know, I would recommend looking to get involved. Again, a little bit aggressive, the buys there, but I do like it because we had a very strong bearish move there. Very impulsive move that could invite some sellers for us to actually buy it back up again and continue. So I do like that idea, but I would like price to actually test some, you know, some strong structure, aka this consolidation. If we came a little bit further and tested this area, you know, you could actually base a nice sort of stop loss around that and go from there. But here, a little bit of middle of nowhere for me. Hey, thank you so much, Richard, for subscribing. Yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. If you are new, I do go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time. And also just share my analysis, my trades, my bias. You can ask me questions, share your trades, and just have a chat, with everything Forex, or trading, to be fair. And if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to leave a like on the video. It does really help the channel out and it helps out the video as well. So feel free to leave a like if you are enjoying the stream. So yeah, with USD CAD, with this one, like I said, bullish bias, a retest of that consolidation would have been nice. But I do like the price action there. Just wish it was a little bit further down. But that's where I do see the market going. I mean, with the current momentum, we could just fly. We could just fly, to be fair. So yeah, I do see more upside for USD CAD. Obviously, still bullish on the dollar as well. Still bullish on the dollar, so that does buy into that idea. And everything is still looking pretty bullish there. Okay, so I'll take a look at gold zesty. GJ will fall very soon. Well, I'm looking at GJ falling as well. I just hope it doesn't hit my target without me. Hopefully you can see some upside. Hey Ross, I'm doing good. How are you? I've noticed your AD, EuroCAD, and USD all are in a rejection area which can reject or break. Yeah, I mean, Euro pairs, they do like to do what all the other Euro pairs are doing. You do see synchronicity with, especially the dollar pairs. Dollar pairs are all kind of always trading at the lows or trading at the highs together, and they're all about to break a level, about to do something. So yeah, that's what I'm a big advocate of, because I do trade a wide range of pairs, but I don't take so many trades, because I'm trading a wide range of pairs. So if I'm looking at a JPY pair, for instance, I don't need to look at so many other JPY pairs, pound yen, NZ JPY, euro yen, CAD JPY. I don't need to look at all those yen pairs because they're all going to do the same thing. Some will give me better entries, some will do this, some will do this a little bit different, but at the end of the day, yen's either going to be strong or weak, and those pairs are going to go up and down together, maybe at different rates based on the currency strength, but they'll do the same thing. So the same example with the euro pairs as well, and they mostly are trading at important areas at the same time. So yeah, a good spot with that. I'll go onto those pairs in a bit more detail, but first I'll take a look at gold and pound yen, and then I'll go into those euro pairs. High impact news for pound, yeah, it's definitely on its way. 41 minutes from now. CHF White move 700 pips in 2 hours. Yeah, I did see that. 700 pips in 2 hours is crazy. CHF is always the one to be careful of. Obviously, that big crash in 2015, I think, if I'm not mistaken, which moved in milliseconds, really, I'm pretty sure. Wasn't trading back then, but if I was, I just hope I wasn't buying it. I just hope I wasn't buying it. Obviously, that's just never going to happen because, well, it could happen again, to be fair. Don't want to say never. To me, it seems either euro gets strength to break upside or lose momentum to roll over. I think it retraces to the downside for this week at last. Let's see. Well, I'm looking to sell EuroCAD, I'm looking to sell EURAUD, and I'm looking to sell USD. So I'm bearish on them. Again, if the euro is still a little bit stronger, it doesn't really bother me too much. I'm just going to wait for some good entry signals from them anyway. So I'm looking to sell all those euro pairs. So I'm looking for them to roll over, really. But EuroCAD isn't quite testing the area that I wanted to test, which is 1.34. But EURAUD and USD are all in very good areas where we could roll over for them. So I'm looking to short, and I'll go into them in a bit more detail in a second. So yeah, gold, bearish bias for this one. Looking for gold to roll over. Again, targets for gold at this monthly support here. You can see the price action that we got in this area, very, very similar to the price action we're getting here. And, history does repeat itself more often than not. So expecting similar price action to form here as to here, especially with, recession on the way. Not even gold survives. Well, it does survive, obviously, in the long run, but it does take a hit. if you just go through data. So gold, I'm expecting more downside, looking for 1550. So that's where I've come up with that number from. I haven't just plucked it out the air for no reason. 5050 coming back down to that support, and we could come a little bit further. We do have this strong level of resistance where we could see gold maybe come and form a higher low to push through to the upside and see the next bullish leg. So I'm not too sure price can get there, because we have quite a big bearish drop for that one. I'm not too sure if gold's got that in it, but if it does, that'd be a fantastic area for not necessarily trades, but just investments really, because you could be on to catch the next higher low for the next bullish run back to 2000. So yeah, for an investment, that seems like a great level to play some buys out, or a big trade, or just looking to buy the high low, whatever. But yeah, gold I do have got going down a lot more. So that's the buys for gold and direction. Now I'm just looking for entries and and areas to get involved. And I was involved early in the week, trying to see if we can get back involved at 1692, 1690, retest that area, and then from there I'll look to calculate some more sells if I can get some price action. The thing about gold is that it could roll over pretty soonish. It's already kind of faked out higher, so that could be the catalyst for gold to see its next bearish leg. I'm not too sure if it's got the energy to see one more upside, but in terms of risk to reward and just entries, it's not looking too good to enter in there anyway. So I'll take a pass on that and see if gold can see some upside, or last resort would be break out the consolidation, come back and retest it later on. Then we can catch the next leg to the downside, because it's still a pretty long way to go anyway for gold if my analysis is correct. So yeah, gold, that's what I've got for that one, but I'm not really seeing much right now. It's just very choppy, very choppy. Unless you want to trade consolidation, feel free, but not really seeing any good trades in that area. So yeah, I'll quickly go over pound yen. Then I'll take a look at those euro pairs. So yeah, pound yen, I'm looking to sell this one. Like I said before, price is still testing this same support here. So that's what I'm thinking. Potentially you might see some upside for pound from the news. We might see price, push bullish from that one. I mean, this day has been pretty crazy. If I measure from the high of the day to the low of the day, that's 482 odd pips to the downside there. I mean, not to the downside, but from the high to the low of the day. So the price doesn't necessarily have to close bearish for today. It could still pull up and even close bullish. All I'm looking for is price to come up and retest some structure up here to form a lower high and roll over again. But I am looking at pound yen coming a lot further, expecting these lows to be taken out eventually, and 156 to be revisited. So I do see still a lot more downside for pound yen, a lot more downside. But I'm hoping first the market does see some upside due to the news, push it up, test resistance 164, 500, and from there sell it back down, which is where I was looking to sell it this morning, but I just need to get an entry signal. As you can see with that huge bearish candle there. So yeah, unfortunate with that, but there's obviously opportunities down the road, so not too worried with that one. But yeah, pound yen, I'm seeing us push into 156 maybe in the next week or so, 2 weeks maybe. But yeah, euro CAD, so like I said, not quite at my area of interest. It's bouncing from 1.32 pretty well, but I'm looking at 1.34 as my area of interest to sell this guy back down again. And from there as well, I'll base some trades. But yeah, right now, not really at my area of interest. So if it does break through the resistance here, like I said, and we still see a bit more upside for euro, I'm not too worried about that, because I actually want it to do that, first of all, because 1.34 is where I want to sell it. So I do want price to continue being strong a little bit further, and then I want to sell it at 1.34. But yeah, if I'm right, we could form a lower high and price comes all the way back down to these lows here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro CAD. Euro AUD, again, looking at potentially a lower high forming around these areas here. Again, not too bothered if price does push up a little bit higher again and then comes back down. It's the same scenario of price forming a lower high, lower to that high up there. That's all I'm looking for. And Euro NZD coming back into this high here. I'm just looking at lower high forming for us to return back down again. So yeah, you're definitely right. EuroCAD, EURAUD, and USD all trading at some key areas where we could see some breaks and some retests. But in terms of direction, I'm always looking to sell. So even if they do break their respective resistance they're trading at right now, I'll still be looking to see if I can catch a lower high when I do get good criteria met for it. So yeah, I do agree with that. And those pairs, all on my watch list, to be fair. They're all on my watch list. So I'll be eyeing up some opportunities for them. US 30, US 100, of course. Aaron will take a look. So yeah, all those pairs on my watch list, and I'll see if I can get some opportunities. I don't think I'll get anything. Maybe this week, to be fair, for EURAUD. EuroCAD, USD, I'm not too sure about. So yeah, US 30, US 100, exact same analysis for these guys. Still expecting them to roll over and come further to the downside. Looking at price, taking out these lows here, 29,674. That's where I expect price to go and take out those lows. So I'm still seeing more downside for US 30. I'm still seeing more downside for it. It would be nice if you can get a pullback to one of these two areas up there. So I've got 3,500 and 39.25. Those are my areas of interest for US 30. Looking at a lower high developing around there. Full price to come back down into 29,674. So yeah, US 30 bearish bias. I know we're testing strong support, so I know some people will be looking at longs from this area, which makes perfect sense, of course. But we have to understand the structure and where price is flowing and where price is not flowing into. And we're seeing lows being taken out consistently, and there's nothing different about this setup. So most likely, we're going to go and take out those lows there eventually. So we might see a bullish reaction from this area to the upside, but most likely price is going to form a lower high and then go run those lows. So any nice little rally we can see, any nice upsides, that obviously gives us a good entry signal. Shorts will be looking very, very good. Obviously, you've got higher time frames you're in line with, weekly and the daily, all showing nice bearish structure. So any one of those areas, 3,500 or 39.25, 900, we'll call it, sells from any of those areas look good as well. And then push back down. As long as we don't break structure, essentially, as long as we don't break structure, the sales are still looking very, very good for these guys. And again, you can look to push it to the wick, or you can push it to the zone. It's completely up to you how you want to target that. But that is what I see for US 30, something like this happening. And US 100, very, very similar price action, as you can see. With this one, have we come to those lows? No, we haven't. So US 100 hasn't even tested the lows yet. US 30 has tested the respective lows, but US 100 has not even tested those lows yet. So we still got a lot more downside in the chamber for this one. But yeah, you just want to see a pullback. You want to see a pullback before getting involved, and look for price to push into 111, 11100, and again, probably taking out those lows and probably head a little bit further as well. So yeah, with US 100, everything's still looking pretty bearish here. It would be nice if price to come and retest this level here. Again, we do have some broken support, which could obviously add to resistance, which price is kind of just wicked into right now. Looking at the lower time frames, nice bearish engulfing, so that could be a nice entry signal. Stop loss above the level, but preferably I would want price to go a little bit higher first before looking to get involved and looking to sell. 12k would be a really, really nice level to enter from. Retesting where the news came in, where the momentum came from. Retest that same area. Can base some nice shorts down there. Where is that? 11,200. So yeah, down to 11,200 look good as well. So yeah, US 100 looks better than US 30 because there's a lot more room to work with. And US 30 is obviously testing a key area, but the indices, they do the same thing really. Maybe slightly different rates and slightly different paces. But US 30, I do have this one still going to the downside. So yeah, and US 500 as well. S&P 500, still got that one heading down to those lows as well. And probably going to see some new lows. As well. Have you already done your USD? I've done your USD, but I can quickly run through that again if you want. Side question, Miko, what's in your cup? Just water. Just water. Yeah, I don't really drink anything other than water, really, to be fair. Well, at home anyway. Yeah, it's always water in my cup. Interesting question though. So yeah, I'll go for Euro USD again quickly. Pound USD, no problemo. We'll take a look. Okay, so pound USD. Pound USD. So yeah, I mean, I suppose you're still looking to trade pound USD as well. Hey Tony, what's up? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, pound USD. Of course, we've got the news coming out later. So yeah, Bank of England interest rate decision 27 minutes. So, well, of course, you know, we're expected to raise it. Naturally, you expect a bullish pound. Naturally, you expect a bullish pound, but hey, you know, we're not going to try and guess that. Many times when you've been trying to guess the news and being completely wrong, and it's not really worth a trade. Really, you want price to be in your favor from price action, then you can use fundamentals to help you out rather than try and guess what's going to happen with the news. But yeah, with pound USD, we're retesting some nice structure there, support term resistance. Could be some nice sells there. Personally, for me, I want price to go a little bit higher. Like I spoke before, 1.15600. That's where I want price to head to. And then from there, look to sell it back down again. But I'm not really a fan because price right now is in exposed prices, but we haven't been in a while. So I do want price to find its feet a little bit and see some upside. And then, yeah, kind of and short it back down again. But I'm not really seeing much here for pound. I'm not seeing much at all, really. A break and retest above here could be some nice short-term buys into this high, something like that. But again, with the news coming out in half an hour, things could change. We could just blow straight through into that high there, or melt down, and we have to reanalyze it and go again after that. So yeah, that's why I said when the news comes out, give it a good half an hour to 1 hour, let the news do its thing, and then after that we can reanalyze the pair and see what's happening from that. Euro USD, I couldn't go with that, completely missed out that pair. USD JPY, sure thing Nino. AD CAD as well, no problemo. Okay, so Euro USD, like I said, a pullback on this one would have been nice. Still could do. Again, retest that range there, which is basically the low of the range is what I'll be looking at. 0.99600, retest that range there, look for some confirmations, and we can short it back down off of that because we've seen, you know, nice momentum come back in now for the market. Really nice move there, consolidation, and again a nice move there. So momentum is back in from bears now after this horrible consolidation period there. So if you can get a retest of that, can expect to see more momentum come back in. If I do whip out the old Fibonacci, you know, you've got price, you know, retesting that 0.618 area there. Really nice pullback, retesting structure. From there, you can base some shorts and catch the next swing to the downside potentially. So, yeah, with Euro USD, that is what I'll be looking at. A retest of 0.999600, and then from that, we can base some nice short opportunities. Again, probably look at maybe the hourly time frame or 30-minute time frame for entry signals. And yeah, targets, yeah, back down to the respective lows. So hopefully that made sense there, Zesty. Let me know if you're looking at the same thing as well. Let me know. So yeah, I'll look at AD CAD and USD JPY. So yeah, for USD JPY, there's not much to do with this one. We're back at the lows of the range. You can see prices test this once, twice, and a third time there as well, and it's struggling to break through that resistance. So the market is trading at a very critical area. It's not just any area. 145, nice psychological level, and obviously this monthly resistance here as well. It's testing this area there as well. So as you can see, it's a very important area which could give us some downside. The market is very overextended on the monthly, the weekly, the daily. The market is just very, very overextended, and it's due a correction. And this could be a good area that correction could come from. But I want price to break through some structure first. We do have this resistance here. Price can come back and retest potentially at 139. So if you can clear the support, something like this, come back and retest it, something like that could be a really nice opportunity, and retest the low of the range, which is what I said on my weekly analysis. I said no sales for me unless 142 is cleared, which is that level of support. So if you can clear that support, which we almost did off the back of that drop there, but we closed back inside the range. So you want price to go and close outside of it, break through, retest, and then find some continuations there. But in the range, there's nothing really much to do there. There's nothing really much to do in my opinion. So yeah, USD/JPY, it's a pair that I'll leave alone for now, especially with what's just happened. I'll let it settle a little bit, wait for some more candles to print, more data for us to work with. But yeah, a break of that support would open up for some nice sells. 139, we didn't retest that on the daily time frame, we just broke through. So we could be invited for another test down there. AUD CAD, sure, we'll take a look at that now as well. So AUD CAD, so yeah, this pair again, it's on my watch list. I'm looking to trade AUD CAD. I'm looking to sell this one for the past like 4, maybe 5 weeks even, looking to sell this one. I'm still looking for us to return back down to these lows here. But like I've said, since the start of the week, the price action has been awful. The market's printing higher highs and higher lows on the hourly time frame. And it's not really a good market to short. You don't want to be shorting a market that's correctively moving up, because it's got a lot of friction to work with. There's a lot of lows, where the market can find support again and be brought back up by people trading the opposite direction. You want price to rally in one direction, then short it down, because there's no real support in your way until these lows here. Whereas here there's numerous support, so there's a lot of friction. There's a lot of levels that price needs to break for us to be onto a winner here. So that's why I said I want price to break through structure first to show me that, okay, now it's starting to turn around, and then we can start getting some lower highs and then short it back down again after that. So that's kind of what I'm still waiting for AUD CAD, some bit more development with this one. It's still struggling to break through a very, very key level here, so that is a very positive sign, because if it does break through this, we might be seeing AUD CAD revisit some of these highs here. If it does get above 0.89456, that could cause price to go a lot further, and maybe retest some highs first. I still do think price would be heading down to these lows, but we could see a bullish leg first before that happens. So we do have to respect that. So yeah, there's nothing there for me. If price can make its way back down this low here, that would be fantastic. Break through that low there, catch the next low high, and then from there we can actually short it all the way back down to the lows here. Obviously, if you want to swing the trade, completely up to you, but there is still a long way down for this one. There is still a long way down, so there's no need to try and catch the top and try and short the top. We can short the second, third, or even fourth lower high if it does print one, of course, and trade those opportunities rather than look to trade the high where the probability is not completely in our favor. So yeah, AUD CAD bearish buys, looking for this to come a lot lower, but nothing to do here. Nothing to do at all, really. So yeah, I'm waiting for some structures to break and then some lower highs, and then I'll look to short it. Anis, weren't you trading AUD CAD yesterday or the day before? When you short on that one? Are you still in the trade, or are you looking to get back in? Hey Moch, since you swing trade and hold positions, do you put in consideration that the swap points are in your favor? No. Swap is very, very small, to be fair. It's nothing really major. It does sometimes dig into your profits a little bit, but it's nothing that it changes anything a big deal. Sometimes swaps can be a little bit bigger, especially with exotic pairs like peso and USD ZAR. So swaps can be a lot bigger with those pairs, but I rarely do trade them. And if I do, I really do hold the trades for that long. But holding like a Euro USD, like my AUD a couple weeks ago, the swap for that one was very, very minimal. It was actually positive swap for AUD shorting. It was very, very minimal, very, very small. So yeah, I don't take into that. If they were bigger, then yes, I would, because I do hold my positions over long periods of time. So if I could obviously gain money as well with swap, that's a great bonus. But right now the swap costs are very, very low, so I don't take in consideration at all, really. But if they were bigger, then I would. Can you do USD and USDJPY? USD and USDJPY have been very popular. Interesting, but yeah, I'll take a look. Wayne. I do look at the same thing in Euro USD, but about the support resistance at 0.99242. Okay, we'll have a look as well. How many pairs are you currently trading? I'm not trading any pairs at the moment. I stopped out break even for gold yesterday, so I'm not in any trades currently. There's a few pairs I'm looking to trade, but I'm not trading any pairs right now. And again, I don't really trade. I do look at many pairs, but I'm not in many trades. So yeah, typically if you ask me that question, I'll probably just be saying one majority of the time. I'm very rarely in more than two at once. Okay, so USD for this one, looking at sales, we have some really nice resistance here, but again, structure isn't quite there for us yet. So I'm just waiting for us to get a good bearish signal. I'm waiting for us to get a good bearish signal, and I'm not seeing that currently right now. I know price kind of formed some consolidation there in the 4H. Looks like it's retesting it, but it's nothing, really putting price in our favor for some sells. Obviously, if you're buying, things are still bullish, so you can probably squeeze a few more pips to the upside from this one. But I'm really looking for price to give me some more lower highs or break some structure here to the downside. I'm looking at this area here as my structure point. If price can break through that, then I can start seeing a bearish trend start to develop. But as of right now, price kind of retested the broken resistance there, support. And I won't be surprised if we see another bearish leg to the upside and a push to 1.7 maybe for USD. But I'm not bullish on this one, so I'm not interested in the buys whatsoever. I'm just waiting for some good confirmation on some sells. And I do think this can go a lot way, maybe down to some of these areas, and long term maybe down there as well. So I do see a lot of downside for USD, just nothing yet for me to actually enter the trade, and take a trade really. So yeah, with this one's on the watch list. USD is on the watch list. UAD as well is partner in crime, but yeah, there's no opportunity to sell just yet. I'll take a look at USDJPY as well now. So yeah, USDJPY very, very popular, but it's the same drill for this one. Consolidation, you can see price respected that once, second time and the third time, and once, second time and the third time. So price is in that range here, and I wouldn't advise trading within the range unless you're looking to trade the range, as in buy low, sell high, trading from high to low basically. Not trying to trade in the middle around this area here. It's not really worth your time. And if you are looking for sells, I'd wait for this low to break here, break out the side of the consolidation, and come back and retest the prior high that made there on the daily. So if you can clear the low here at 142, could see some nice sells back down to 139. It has a similar pattern develop on CAD yen here. We have consolidation after price broke through the highs, never got the retest, and eventually did come back and get the retest of that range. So something similar I do see happening on USDJPY as well. We just need to wait for the confirmation of the breakout, and then look for the retest to sell it back down again. But yeah, I wouldn't look to trade that right now. I wouldn't even look to buy the low here. I'll just wait for price to settle after that huge kind of candle there. Yeah, I'll wait for things to settle first. Hopefully that made sense. I'll take a look at Euro USD support. What do you think of Pound USD? Yeah, we'll take a look at Pound USD fortune. I don't hold my trades for a long time, just I move my stop loss to the first TP. So right now I'm out waiting for confirmation short again, but not really clear for now. Yeah, I'm on the same page as you then. as well. And I'm still looking to sell AD CAD, but the price action is not too good. So we'll have to be a bit patient with AD CAD. Maybe we might get something later today or maybe tomorrow, or if not, even early next week. So got to be patient for that. The setup will come, and if my analysis does play out, there's a long way down to go. So the rewards will be worth it. You just have to wait for the entry to present itself, then we can get in and trade it. Do you trade every day or wait for the perfect setup? Yeah, I wait for the best setup I can get. I won't trade every day. I rarely trade. Can't remember the last trading week I've traded Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Yeah, I can't remember the last trading week I've done that. Of course, I'm not a day trader. I'm not a day trader, so you wouldn't expect a swing trader to trade every day. And even if you are a day trader, I wouldn't even expect a day trader to trade every day. Scalper, yeah, I would, because scalping, obviously, on the lower time frames, minute time frames, you'll get a lot of opportunities there. And if you're only going for like 3 pips or 10 pips, you can get away with taking multiple trades. But even the day trader, I wouldn't expect the day trader to be trading every day, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. Maybe sometimes they will do 5 trades a day, if not 5 trades a day, 5 trades in a trading week if things are looking very good that week. But especially as a swing trader, no, I wouldn't be looking to trade every day. I mean, I do look at the markets every day for an opportunity, but if I get one or not, that's completely up to the setup. So no, I don't try and force a thing just because it's a new day. No, 100% no. I'm waiting for a good opportunity to present itself. Hey Miko, what do you think about trend lines? Do you use them? Yeah, I do use trend lines. I do use them. Trend lines are a good tool for guidance, because the markets, they kind of fluctuate, but they all fluctuate in what's the word? In proportion. So for example, a trend line, you've got a trend line here, and price is going back down again. Price doesn't just like most of the time doesn't make like random lower highs. I'll make a lower high and I'm gonna make a lower high down, make a lower high. Normally it's in proportion. It's in the proportion. So that's why trend lines are useful, because when it does have its pullbacks, it's normally in proportion to the last one, to the last one, to the last one, and that's how you get a nice trend line. Sometimes it will have a breakout and it will kind of fake out things, and that's where trades get trapped. But they mostly are in proportion, and the same as resistance and support as well. Price will find resistance and will come respecter again. Reason being, this is the last time price had a reaction from that price. So if it gets there again, most likely, as long as it doesn't break out, it will react from that price again. So trend lines are good. I normally use trend lines in channels, so I'd like to see what price is doing. Oh, I did not mean to do that. If it's moving in a channel, like for example, NZD-CAD has been moving in a very, very nice channel. Where are you? As you can see, NZD-CAD has been moving in a very nice channel for quite some time, and trend lines give me a good guide of how far that channel and how far the swings are apart. So again, lower high, looking for a trade here to short is not the best area, but if price can get slightly higher again, and that'll be a good place to short it back down again. So yeah, trend lines are great. I'll never take a trade just because prices hit a trend line, but I would use the trend line to add confidence to what I've got going already. So yes, horizontal support and resistance lines are great for taking trades from, but trend lines, I wouldn't advise that. I would advise them, because they're a bit more subjective. So I would advise them just as a tool to show you in the right direction, and you're taking from a good area. I have 10 minutes to the news comes out ish. So we'll see what happens with that. UK 100, I'll take a look. No problem. Ain is happy to help. Your Receipt Chef, we'll take a look as well. As a day trader, I don't trade every day, just looking for those high probability trades. Is there nothing on the market? I'm happy to sit on my hands for a week. Exactly. I mean, that's the type of mentality you need to have. That's the type of mentality you need to have. Because if you have the mentality of you're trying to find the trade, then you're not going to go too far, because you're always going from a mindset of lack. You're trying to find something. That's never what you want to do. You never want to try and find something. You want something to come to you. You're looking at your pair, you're waiting for a good opportunity, and a good opportunity comes, then you take it. You're not trying to force something. So yeah, sometimes you're gonna have to sit in your trade for a while. Sometimes it'll be times in the markets where things are looking good and there's trades everywhere, and sometimes it will be a little bit dry, and you have to, as a trader, you have to go through those periods and keep the mindset intact. Just because one month everything popped off and was looking crazy doesn't mean next month it will be looking crazy as well. Sometimes you're gonna have to sit in your hands, especially as a swing trader. When you're looking for good opportunities as a swing trader, you're gonna have to sit in your hands for quite a while. Sometimes trades will take a while to play out, and sometimes they'll come very, very fast to you. Sometimes there'll be long stretches where you're just gonna have to see it through. And as a day trader, of course, same thing as well in the lower time frames. Scalper is probably the only one. Even the scalper, to be fair, you want to be focused on high setups. But even as a scalper, you will get a lot of opportunities, but you want to be focusing on the best. Whatever you do, you always want to focus on the best opportunities, because anyone can trade any opportunity, but not everyone can wait for a good opportunity to come. And that alone in itself is an edge, really. So Euro USD, again, sales from this one do look good. A retest of that level there will look nice. Again, we're trading at these lows here, so for me, there's nothing much to do. There's nothing much to do at these lows here. I'd wait for price to pull back a little bit higher, retest some structure, and from there we can see some sales come through. We're seeing a lot of bearish momentum here, which is nice. So retest that range. Obviously lines up with the 0.618 there as well, pretty nicely as well. So adds to the confidence of the trade, and then looking for the next bearish leg, and obviously targets back down to these lows. So that's what I've got going for Euro USD. You're talking about 0.9942. So are you talking about this? You're talking about that wick there? I mean, it's more or less in the same area, to be fair. No, 242, sorry. 242. Okay, so you're talking about maybe some supply around here, potentially. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but it probably is that supply around there. But again, everyone's going to look at the chart slightly differently. So if you're looking at that price, look at that price, see what happens, base some trades around there. If I was looking to trade Euro USD, that would be my focus up there. So obviously do what you need to do as SD. But again, similar analysis, really looking for the price to come back down. But yeah, I'll take a look at pound USD and UK 100. Yeah, true. I use trend lines to spot liquidity and for direction. Yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of people say trend lines are completely useless, which is false, because they are use. You can use them. They do provide to your trading. They don't take away. Even if you don't use them to trade from, you can still use trend lines to understand the direction, and obviously where people are selling or where people are buying. You can use that to your advantage as well, or you can look to sell and buy in those areas. It's completely up to you, but they're not useless. Okay, so yeah, pound USD, where are you? There you are. So yeah, pound USD, again, news is coming out in 6 minutes, so anyone jumping to the trade right now, fair play. Fair play. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. I would advocate waiting a good half an hour or an hour after the news has happened, wait for things to settle before looking for the news, because news could change things. From where we're trading at right now, price might be trading up here by the end of the news, or it could be trading down there. So let news do its thing, and then we can reanalyze after that when things settle. So yeah, pound USD is retesting that structure there. Like I said, could be some sells, but we'll wait to see what happens after the news. If we're still trading in this area after the news has happened and everything is settled, then yeah, break and retest is looking good, and we can see some nice sells. But yeah, I'll wait for price to settle first after the news, and then see where we're trading. Okay, UK 100, USD chef as well. On the 4H, I thought you were talking about some areas down below. I mean, I've done that mistake a few times where I think people are trading the low time frames, but they're not. Where's your USD? Okay, so you're looking for price to basically come into this area here as well. Or basically retesting at the high of that area. To be fair, that does make sense. That does make sense. But yeah, I thought you were talking about the lower time frames. I did that yesterday. Okay, so yeah, UK 100, Euro CHF, I'll take a look. Now I'll start looking at pound yen and pound USD coming to the news in a few minutes. I've noticed you are more of a swing trader. Do you ever trade retracements or pullbacks, or do you stick to your bias? No, I don't really entertain retracements or pullbacks. I have done in the past, but my success rate hasn't been that good, and I'm better off just trading my bias, really, to be fair. So yeah, sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit undisciplined, I may try and look to trade a retracement. But yeah, in the long run, it pays off for me to just ignore that and focus on trading my bias, which is what I normally focus on anyway. So yeah, I may just focus trading my bias, let the market do its thing. And the thing is, I trade so many pairs, so there's always a market that's looking good to trade. I just need to be patient and wait for confirmations and a good setup to trade it. So, a lot of these dollar pairs have been flying to the downside. Not flying, they've been falling to the downside. And from a swing perspective, there hasn't been very, very good retracement. There was previously, but not now. So in these type of situations, I'm waiting for price to see some good upside before I short it back down again. But because I do trade a wide range of pairs, UAD is looking good for some sales. Nice pullbacks happen there. So there's always a good setup around. But yeah, my success rate is a lot lower when I'm trading counter to my bias than with the bias, which obviously makes sense. So that's the direction I'm trading. But I'll take a look at UK 100 and EUR/CHF quickly, because we do have the news in a couple of minutes. Okay, so yeah, UK 100, like I said, target's still back down at these lows. So I'm still seeing a lot more downside. Preferably would like price to come in to test that 12K level there. And then roll over, retest where the news started yesterday, retest that and then fall. But we could also respect this level and fall over. Momentum is already much in the markets here. The market could just take a tumble from 11,700 as well. But in terms of the direction, targets where I expect price to go, those are the lows that are the targets for UK 100, US 100. You said UK, my bad. I was looking at US. So yeah, for this one, pretty much the same thing. Expecting price to return to those lows, but price action is not looking too good, to be fair. Actually, those lower highs are consistent though, so we could make it back down here, but I probably wouldn't advise any further. So yeah, UK 100 push back down through that support, give us a clean move into these lows here. What's that, 7K? So yeah, something like that would look good. I wouldn't look for buys here. I know it's a support, but I wouldn't look for buys there. I expect price to break through it. So yeah, this is where I do see price going. You can see lower high after lower high after lower high after lower high. So the market's trying to go bullish, but it's fading. So that's where I see the market heading towards for that one. And Euro CHF, yeah, CHF is still a little bit crazy. It is still a little bit crazy. There's nothing to do here, in my opinion. Coming to a nice level up here could be a nice sell, but I wouldn't do anything. All the CHF pairs have been crazy. So yeah, I'd wait a good hour or so before doing anything. You can see the CHF pairs are still pumping to the upside. Pound CHF still pumping. The news has started for pound. Let's jump onto pound yen or pound USD. So it looks like it's bearish so far, but of course, things could change. It could flip bullish. Wow, that is pushing. Obviously, it's reacting to that level up there as well, which is why I always talk about price action and structure, and why that's so important, because a lot of the times you see news react to price action and structure. It doesn't normally just go anywhere and anywhere. There's normally methodology, towards it, which is why I still hold trades, throughout the news. I don't look to trade when the news comes out, but if I'm already in a trade and news is coming out, I'll stick it through. Okay, so yeah, price Price is quite bearish. So I'm actually hoping price could go up because I wanted to sell them back down again, particularly pound yen. So I'm actually looking for them to come up. Still good to be fair. You're really helping us for real. We do really appreciate you. No problem, Zesty. No problem. I'm glad you're finding it useful, to be fair. Again, sometimes with I don't know what level you are as a trader, but I know sometimes beginners on my streams might feel a little bit overwhelmed with my analysis sometimes. So I'm trying to keep it in my head that, sometimes to keep things simple, not trying to overcomplicate things, and make sure everyone on the stream can understand it, because that's the goal at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are finding it helpful and useful and enjoying it. If you are, please subscribe, join the family. Join the fam, and like the video if you haven't done it already as well. But yeah, so far things are bearish, but again, I'll give it a good half an hour or an hour after. Before actually looking to trade it. If there's a setup, of course. If there's nothing, then there's nothing to do. So yeah, clearly pound is quite weak, but that could change, which is why the half an hour is recommended, because sometimes the first 5-10 minutes things could be bearish and then it could flip bullish in the next. I'm 19 and I started like this year, still in school. No way. I mean, that's a great time to start. That's a great time to start trading. That's a great time because you can learn, obviously because you're still in school, but you can learn still inside. It's better than once you already started full-time work and you've got responsibilities and you've got a family to feed, obviously. So at 19, that's a great age to start. I mean, I got first introduced to Forex when I was 17, so I was still in school as well. No problem, Tony. Happy to help, my guy. Happy to help. Appreciate it. Thank you much. Thank you. Yeah, you help me too, day trader, and I enjoy your videos because your bias analysis is always on point. I can use that to my trading style. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people do use the content for their bias and stuff, because obviously I'm a swing trader. I think most of the audience are probably day traders, to be fair. I think generally people are mostly day traders in trading. So a lot of them, are kind of using the bias, obviously alongside their own bias. They don't recommend just trade whichever way I think the market is going. You want to make sure you've got skill as well, and you've got ability, and obviously you're working on that as well. So when your bias aligns with the higher time frame of bias, that's a good thing, and then you can just use the lower time frames to trade that direction. So that's great to hear, guys. Great to hear. And again, we're all improving as well. So yeah, pound yen, pound USD, we're seeing some bearish momentum, but I'm looking for these guys to come up. So I'm not really too bothered. I'm still looking at pound yen taking out these lows there and coming back down to 156. So I'm looking for some upside for pound yen. I think this guy's at the top of my watch list, most likely. It looks like the cleanest setup for me. And gold is as well. It's just that I don't like what gold's doing. I just don't like what gold is doing. No problem, Richard. No problem. Awesome trader, mate. Keep up the good work. Appreciate, guys. You guys are just coming out with all the kind messages. Gonna bring out the waterworks. I'm joking, but yeah, appreciate it, guys. Appreciate you. And again, we're almost at 5k subs. I'm pretty sure. I can't see how many subscribers I'm on here, but yeah, I'm almost at 5k. So I do appreciate all you guys who subscribed recently, liking the videos, all of that. That's really positive to see that the content I'm putting out is obviously benefiting you guys. So that's great to see. 100%. And yeah, I mean, do you want to go far off the YouTube channel? Yeah, do some big stuff. And go and actually, trade with people in different countries as well. Yeah, that is definitely on the bucket list. Definitely on the bucket list. So yeah, guys, I mean, obviously come up to the end of the stream. I will be live again with A1 trading with them on Friday at 3 p.m. UK time. So if you do want to see some more analysis from your boy, just tune in now. I'll leave a link to their stream on my Telegram, so feel free to check in if you want to, which will be at 3 p.m. UK time. But yeah, we'll be live again with them. For me, live again on this channel, you have to wait till next week Tuesday, but I will be dropping some content tomorrow and on Saturday, obviously recapping everything and analyzing next week. Yeah, I mean, it's still hard when you have an exam, but you went to trade, and when you lose a trade, just like, yeah, I've been there. If you haven't checked out my podcast that I did with Nick, so I did a podcast on Nick's channel, Trader Nick. I was talking about trading university and how I eventually did drop out university to trade full time. So go and check out that podcast episode I did with Nick. In fact, I'll leave a link to the video on my Telegram. Actually, I'll post a link to the video on that. But yeah, I remember I was doing my first year exams, and I wasn't even revising. I was just watching YouTube videos on trading. I remember, and completely flopped that first exam. I had to redo the exams to get into second year actually. So yeah, my advice is focus on school and get the exams out of the way, and then when the exams out of the way, you can go berserk on trading. But yeah, it can definitely mess up your psychology as well. Psychology is probably the biggest part of trading anyway. So definitely good luck with that. Please don't get arrogant once you get too famous. Of course not. It's not my nature. Don't think I probably have, but I don't think I've ever been. I'm not that type of guy. I mean, once you get to know me personally, you can see I'm never really that type of guy. So I promise you much. I won't. But yeah, guys, much appreciated for tuning into the stream. Like I said, we'll be live again with A1 Trading. I'll post the link to the podcast if you guys haven't seen it on the Telegram. So feel free to check that out. But yeah, guys, have a fantastic day. Remember, if you are looking to trade, give it a good half an hour or an hour after that news is settled. Then we can look to analyze the charts after that. But yeah, till next time, take care, take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Do you trade your own money or you fund it? No, I trade my own capital. I actually talk about that on the podcast as well. But yeah, I trade my own capital. I don't trade with funded capital. See you tomorrow on A1. Have a great day. Yeah, you too much. Have a great day, guys. So yeah, I will post the link to that A1 trading. I'll do tomorrow. But yeah, I'll catch you all tomorrow. These questions keep coming and just keep me on the stream. Is pound will be strong? I have no idea. I'm looking to sell pound yen back down to here, so my forecast will probably be more weakness in pound. Pound USD is still pretty bearish, and I would expect that to be bearish as well. I still do think pound's got a little bit more juice to the downside, but I do want them to find some strength just purely for retracement purposes, because I'm looking to sell it back down really. So I hope it can find some strength so I can short it. But I'll let you guys know on the Telegram if I do get anything. But yeah, I'll catch you all tomorrow hopefully. If not, I'll catch you all next week. But have a good day, guys. Wrong one. I put a stream starting soon. It's